Hey guys, it's Steve, and I'm back today to do a video updating you on the projects that I've been invested in the Binance Smart Chain. I've been on a bit of a lull here, and the last videos that I did were all about Cub Finance, and that's really because I'm such a fan of the Leo Finance people and the that I really trust what they're doing. The Cub Finance site has been offering really incredible returns for the last few weeks. They're actually going to come a little bit back down to normal here come tomorrow, so I'm going to update you on what's going on with that. We also had some updates for Goose Finance. Goose Finance was actually my first project on Binance Smart Chain that I really got heavily into. That one was a pretty good one for me. I almost wish I would have went heavier because it really exploded. It's come way back down to normal. They've had some bumps in the road when it comes to their layer farming, so we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we'll talk about the changes that they have going live. And I just remembered I want to get something up on my other screen so that I am ready to talk about it. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Got it ready. That only took me an extra second. So first we'll go over here and we'll take a look at the Goose Finance site. Now I went ahead and logged out because I did a video where I was going to out how much money I had, and I thought twice about that. I don't hide who I am, but I should just let you know that one of the things, the reason I was going to show you is because I wanted to show you something. I would not call myself a very wealthy person. Some people might consider me that though, so I'm not going to show you exactly how much I have, but you can put what I would call not a modest amount of money, but less money than say the price of a expensive car into a DeFi site and earn yourself a yield that is really a lot of money when you think about what you're actually earning. And the only thing that scares most people from going heavy into any of these farms where you're earning 600% here, and I'll show you on Cub Finance, they're even earning more than 600% in some of their farms, is why wouldn't you just put all your money right there, right? Where are you going to earn a 600% return for just letting your money sit? Because that's what you're theoretically letting it do when you put it in one of these farms. But what are we afraid of? A hacker is going to come and hack this, right? And he's going to steal all the money. Or the team is bad and they're going to steal all of your money. Well, on the Binance chain, there's been some pressure being put on Binance, and I don't know. This is for everyone's kind of to see where this sits with you. We talk about the fact that Binance chain is maybe not really DeFi. It's kind of a CDFI. CZ has even said that. And you've had a couple big hacks happen and a couple things happen, and they have attempted to pressure Binance to stop these people from getting the money in and out. Now, one of the reasons that they can do that currently is because a lot of the ways in and out of Binance Smart Chain involve using Binance. That's going to change soon with a project that LeoDex is doing, but I really thought I should just mention that if they don't have a way to get the money out, sometimes the money can be refunded because people can get caught when they try to put it onto the exchanges. And if they want to, use the Leo bridge to leave, then every time somebody else gets super hacked, the Leo bridge and Cub Finance are going to make a bunch of money when they're using it to get out of Binance Smart Chain. But there's some centralization, and Leo's taking some of that away, or I should say Cub, and that's kind of exciting. That's what I'm going to talk about. But the main reason why you can't just throw all your money into these great sites is because of the fear of them getting hacked or stealing it, or just it going to zero. And so how can it go to zero? So right here, right, even though this seems pretty safe, right, if I buy an egg for $36 and I pair it up with 36 BUSDs and I put them into here, so I put $70 in, 72, we'll just call it 75, well, let's call it $100 for math purposes. And let's say that eggs are 25 in that case, so I'm putting in 2 eggs and $50. Well, if the price of egg changes to $20, well, that's okay because it went down in price, and that's a little bit of a bummer, but I've been farming eggs and selling them and making money if I'm one of those people. And I can take my liquidity out, and even though I'll get a little bit more eggs and less dollars, as long as I can quickly sell those eggs at the $20 price, I still end up with my $100, right? So I'm fine. I'm completely fine. You're not completely fine in this pool if eggs went to some astronomical super low number, because then there wouldn't be enough liquidity in the pool for you to sell your eggs to get out your dollars. So even though when you exited the pool, you might have a ton of eggs and a penny of BUSD because that's how bad the price got messed up, you'd be screwed. And that's what happens when a hacker drains the liquidity out of a pool. The normal trick is they get access to the chain. The chain has a way for them to print the token. They print 1 million eggs. They sell 1 million eggs into this pool. They drain out every single dollar and we're screwed. That usually cannot happen when regular users are using it. You usually would be able to get out what you put into the pool. But it's possible for it to get, if you put in enough money for it to get under where you wouldn't be able to. So that's kind of, that's a part of impermanent loss. Impermanent loss gets even more complicated if you're doing something like this, ETH to BNB, where both prices can move. You really need to understand that if you want to get into these pools. If you'd like me to do a video completely explaining how impermanent loss works when you're pairing up two that move, let me know and I'll do a video about that. I'll tell you, I don't particularly use those pools. I pair up to BUSD if I'm going to go into a pool, or I use the stable farms if they are offered. So right here you have USDC, and they do have smaller returns, right? But they're just safer to where I don't have to worry about this money going lower, and then I can figure out what I want to do with what I'm farming. If you want to be more dangerous about what you're doing, then you're going to chase the highest APRs, and the highest APR is typically the reason why these ones would be the most dangerous is because if the project fails at this price, at this point, with Goose sitting here with $226 million locked, the token going back up because of the changes that they're making, I'm not thinking that it is that dangerous to be in these ones. But I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. As cool as Goose is, even though they're listed now on DeFi Station, and they have their check mark as an audited project, and they're number 8 in the whole Binance ecosystem, which gives you a little bit of protection, because if any of these guys rug pull you, CZ is going to find them. But you know, we still have the stuff growing, and Binance Smart Chain is still has new projects and new things coming over here. I don't think as many people are leaving Ethereum to come here, but they are building bridges to here and putting their tokens here. And you're going to see that I feel like there's something that could happen that could make this grow a lot more. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, let's go over what's happening to Goose, just so you are aware. And what did I just do? Okay, sorry. I don't know how I just did that, but that was kind of funny. I think I accidentally clicked on one of these. So, Goose is going to change their amount of eggs that are coming out per block. This is happening tomorrow. I'm going to try to get this up right after I'm done doing it, but if not, it happens on the 22nd. I'm filming this on the 21st. They're going to go from 1 to 0.7, so a 30% reduction in their inflation. That alone should, in theory, help curtail some of the sell-off of egg. But what else they are doing is they are changing the multipliers on some of their pools and changing the fees for you to get into them. So they are changing it so that you get the egg BUSD pool goes from a 40x to a 60x. The egg BNB pool, which is a little bit more dangerous to be in, honestly, in my opinion, goes to a 36x. My guess is the reason why they pay more for BUSD is they're looking to give people dollar liquidity for the egg token and always have that dollar liquidity. And the bigger that pool is, the safer people will get into farming eggs, because they should always be able to feel like they can sell them for dollars. And that's really important. Not everybody might want more BNB token that's over here. Even though we're using the chain and most of us should like BNB token, they might not. They're also increasing the straight egg nest. So if you just want to buy egg and stake your egg, or if you just have some egg and you now want to not worry about, maybe you want to take your profit out and just do it. So this one's going from a 10x to a 25x. So even though they're going to see a 30% reduction in the overall reward, these pools are all going to get more. The other thing that they're going to do is they're going to reduce the deposit fee from 4% to 2.5%. And actually, I think on their site, they may have changed that even lower. Yeah, they actually pushed that down. This is live on the site. That was an announcement a few days ago, from 4 to 1.5%. So this is kind of the first time they're trying to do some changes to their tokenomics and their inflation to try to stabilize the price of their token. Now I got into egg token under $20, so seeing it at 30 is pretty good, but it was at like 115 for a little while. So they've had a bit of a fall down. So their layered farming didn't work like they wanted. If you come here and you see this token is at 86 cents. The idea kind of behind these layered tokens, just to give you a quick idea, is so they launched layer 1, and to get the GG1 layer token, you had to stake egg tokens, and they burned a whole bunch of tokens, and this was originally full, and then it has a really high APR, and you earn this GG1 token. They initially priced it at like $10, and then they create another pool for you to earn it, and then you earn this token for a whole week. They set up a whole set of farms with that token to earn the egg token. So they take some of that inflation and they push it over to here. And so, no, this is just to earn the same token. So they launched the token. It has a max supply, and they go ahead and let you just farm away at it with super high APRs and have some fun with trading it. This is kind of the idea of we don't want everybody to hop around and chase down all the new pools that are opening up everywhere and maybe get rug pulled. We'll just make a brand new one for you, and you guys can go ahead and you can degen in, you can ape in, ape out, you can try to figure things out. This token, as you can see as we go through these, all of these tokens are going down to very low prices. And so basically the idea is, in a couple days, the next layer will start, and as you can see here, when it comes down to what you had to stake, you needed to stake either egg token or the last time pools token, so the GG2. So in layer 2, you had to stake the tokens that you farmed in layer 1, and in layer 3, the ones in layer 2, and layer 4 will have a pool and an ability for you to stake and harvest the new token with the tokens that you farmed in layer 3. So if I went ahead and got into these farming of these, I could do these, and you could do, it'll just go from one layer to the next, and people can keep going on. And the reason why this is kind of seems to be it was really popular, but bots took it over. It had some problems, and they're trying to work out some ways to prevent bots from being able to buy it. One of the ways they did that is they limited how many eggs you were allowed to stake from one address, or how many of the token you could buy from one address when it first went live. Because one of the, you could start staking your eggs to get it, but you also could just buy it initially and get in here and start earning it really quick. And the tokenomics of this just hasn't worked really great. I don't want to get too much more into their layered farming. It should be its own video to really talk about, but I'm waiting for them to work it out. I just really wanted to cover the changes to their pool and let you know that you should see the price, if you're in this, start to stabilize or go up, as you're going to see less tokens coming into the market and more incentive for people to stake those tokens into the most important pools. And if you currently look at these pools, they're already pretty big. And they're already paying pretty big prices. So even though this is $18 million stake, you're still earning a 600%. And even though this is 11 million stake, you're still earning almost 600. This is just over. These ones probably stay close to each other. And these are both going up tomorrow. So this will be a 60x and this will be a 36. It'll be of a smaller number, but 40x of one is 40. 60. Well, let me just see. 60x of 0.7 is 42. So it's going up a tiny bit by even with the reduction. So now we're going to go and talk about Cub Finance. Cub Finance is the other project that I'm pretty excited on. Yeah, look, I have 14 Cub in my wallet. I'm going to log out here because I don't really want to show you anything more than that. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Cub. So Cub has been going now, it's for 2 weeks, and they launched with a 3 per block for first week, 2 for block for second week, which ends tomorrow. And tomorrow they go down into what they're calling a halvening for their Cub being issued. So we're going to see a lot less coming into the market. The price has been sitting around this 270 mark up into $3. This is where it's kind of bottomed out, and I feel like it's not going to go much lower than that personally, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But that's where it's at. It's sitting at a $2 million market cap with $12 million locked in. And if we go look at their farms, so these are all going to go down by around 50%, give or take the price movement of Cub. Because those are the two things that factor into the APR. How many tokens are being issued per block and given to this pool to issue to the people who are staking in it, and the value of the token, because the more the token is, then the more APR you're earning. So right now this is at 1,000. This one's at 1,000. These are going to cut down to 500. And that's really when we're going to have to see where the token price goes. Because to be completely honest, Goose Finance is sitting here at 600. So it would almost make sense to move my capital back over into Goose if Cub Finance can't start to go up and start to see their token actually grow in value. And how can a farming token do that when farming tokens normally just get farmed and you have to have a gimmick? Now, Goose tried layered farming. I'd say mixed results, as their token is down quite a bit from its all-time highs, but is still sitting very high. They still have $200 million locked into their program, whereas 2 weeks into Cub Finance, we've been kind of we're at like kind of a steady growth, and then we hit 12 million, and we've just been kind of hanging out around this 12 million mark and haven't had that big influx of money come in. Well, first we'll talk about two smaller pieces of news and then go into a bigger piece of news. So one thing that they did that was exciting to see is they brought dark energy crystal farming to Cub. Now, why is this important? A lot of you might not know what dark energy crystals are, but they're the cryptocurrency from the Splinterlands game that I make videos about. And so it got a farm here on Cub Finance. Now, they took a screenshot of when they first opened it, and it was 3,000%. And then you had a whole bunch of people move over their dark energy crystals and get it in here, and now it's down to 500%, which is and they've got $200,000 worth of dark energy crystals over here, and that's pretty good. It's not very much money. The dark energy crystal market is kind of interesting because it's used in Splinterlands, and a lot of players who earn it just use it to buy cards. And so this would be more for the people that have a lot of it and wanted to go ahead and invest it, or who just saw that it kind of makes sense to just buy a bunch of dark energy crystals and bring them over here because you can earn a 500% return. I know I'm looking at getting some money into here because I have some dark energy crystals. I'm just a little low because I recently bought some cards, but I'm going to be joining this pool eventually. So, because this is kind of close to a stable, and the reason why I say that is it's dark energy crystals to BUSD, and 1,000 dark energy crystals is equal to $1 within the Splinterlands game if you were to be buying land or packs. On the secondary marketplaces, it tends to be equal to between 70 cents and 90 cents for 1,000 crystals. But since I know that's about the floor is about 70 cents before, it's like 60 something cents before people start buying them in mass, because at that point you're getting such a good discount on buying the cards that it's more profitable to buy the dark energy crystals, buy the cards. Even if you were to destroy the cards that you were going to get, you would end up getting more dark energy crystals back because all Splinterlands cards have a burn mechanism. So this is why this is kind of an exciting pool to see, because like I said, you're pretty safe that you're not going to see a ton of impermanent loss, because the dark energy crystals are not going to move up and down in price too much, and they're never going to go really high. They're never going to go super low because of that kind of built-in mechanism. But that was just one small thing that they did this week, was they added that farm, but it is adding a farm that branches out into the Hive community. So they already brought over the Leo people when they launched Cub by adding the B Leo token, And so they brought over all the hardcore fans of Leo Finance. Well, now they gave us a reason for all the Splinterlands players to come over. And then they can branch out and they can talk to other projects over there. And we could see some farms for some of the other tokens that are out on Hive, because Hive is its own ecosystem with a Hive engine exchange with a whole set of tokens that could get involved in farming. That could help drive some liquidity out into here, but it is kind of a positive loop back feed for the Hive ecosystem. And so how's that good for you if you're somebody on the outside? Well, one thing is it brings over some people who are big fans of the project and more incentivized to hold the Cub token as opposed to just sell it, because they know that the Leo Finance team, we all saw them build a project on Hive that is now worth more money than Hive, and is certainly worth more money than Hive with the growth that they're getting from their second project here with Cub. And that's where I want to go into one other. This is just one quick little thing. They did get themselves listed on CoinMarketCap. That's just kind of nice for us to be able to follow them very easily by adding them into Blockfolio, and they're coming up on they're going to be up on CoinGecko as well, and so you can actually follow the token set price alerts with any of those apps if you use them. And that's always something that's nice to see a project get onto here, because you really want to be able to follow the price. And when you can't do that with a project, with some of the projects that don't go ahead and take this step and don't know how to get themselves listed, then it's a little bit harder for you to follow the price and react in real time. But the real thing I want to talk about, and I hope you stayed to this part, but I'm going to put a timestamp in the video to let people come check this out. And this is the Leo Bridge. So the Leo Bridge is going to be going live here probably within about the next week. First, they wanted to go ahead and get through their first couple weeks of letting the token be farmed at a bigger amount by the people who got in early, and that is coming to an end. But a reason why you still might want to take a look at this is because they are going to be issuing the first, and if I'm wrong about this, let me know, the first any ERC20 to any BEP20 bridge. And eventually, if things work out the right way, it might be the first any ERC20 to any BEP20, or any Polkadot token, or any Cardano token. Those ecosystems are all supposed to be able to support the ERC20 standard. If that is true, they will move the Leo token over, and they will probably have the Cub token as well, possibly exist on Polkadot and Cardano, and maybe even have the Cub Finance site become a chain farming liquidity exchange. And that's kind of the end goal they see, but they're going to start with the bridge. And so they do talk about the fact that the reason that they can do this is because they are already a tri-token economy. They have both their native Hive blockchain Leo token. They also have wrapped Leo on Ethereum, and they have a BEP20 token Leo on the Binance Smart Chain. All of these tokens should be around the same price, and there will be some arbitrage opportunities that this chain creates. So the Leo bridge is going to work like this. You give them any ERC20. So let's say that super token that just went up a whole bunch. And you go, you know what? I like my super tokens I have over here, and I would like to move them to super over here. Well, the chain can do that. Cool. Great. That's awesome. Now let's talk about, now you might see that somewhere else, right? Some other bridge might say, well, we can give you super for super. We can give you ETH for ETH. We can give you Bitcoin for Bitcoin. We can give you DAI for DAI. Those bridges exist. But how many can you say, there's that cool Oracle project over on the Binance Smart Chain called Berry, or I really like this Cub Finance. I'd like to get into it, but all of my funds are in Ethereum. Well, how about you go ahead and give them you go ahead and use your DAI ERC20 token, and you go, I would like to get Cub token, or I'd like to get Berry token, or I'd like to get Pancake Swap, or I'd like to get Bakery Swap, or I'd like to get any of the top DeFi plays and other kind of tokens that are going to exist over on the Binance Smart Chain. Well, you can do that with the Leo bridge, because they will be able to take your ERC20, swap it out for wrapped Leo on the ERC20 back end of their platform, of their bridge. Then they will be able to unwrap that and send that to the Hive blockchain. They will then be able to rewrap it and send it to the Binance Smart Chain. Once they have wrapped Leo on the Binance Smart Chain, they can exchange that for any token within the swappable interfaces that they have, and they do use the Pancake and Pancake Swap backend, so they should be able to pull off any legitimately launched token over there as long as you give them the contract address. If it's out there and you can get it, you can go ahead and do it. So now you can actually start to see some people have the ability to take some of those ERC20 tokens that maybe they don't want to use anymore, or maybe they just want to come play in the DeFi world of crypto, but they don't like the idea of using the Binance bridge or any of those other bridges. You're going to see them be able to come here and in a decentralized way of using the Hive blockchain as a middleman instead of using Binance chain. It'll all be really transparent to them, but if they really care enough to dig into it, this will be a decentralized way to get money into a centralized-ish Binance Smart Chain. But now Binance Smart Chain no longer has a way for you to get money out without using Binance. This is big for me because I've been buying DOT tokens on the Binance Smart Chain, and DOT token is not supported on Binance US. So I really had no way to move my DOT tokens out to become ERC20 DOT tokens. This is going to do that for me. And that's a one-to-one trade, so that's not that big of a deal. But also, I have a few ERC20 tokens that I don't really want anymore. I don't really want to pay the money to swap them to Ethereum, because when I've looked into doing that, they just don't have enough liquidity out over there. But I'm definitely going to try to use this bridge to go ahead and bring that money over into the Binance Smart Chain where I can use it to start making bigger returns. Now, why is this good for the Cub token and the Cub Finance? I'm going to cut to the chase here and try to end this video. It's because they've built a mechanism to burn the Cub token with 50% of the fees that they make from the bridge. So the bridge is going to have a 0.25 swap fee. Now that's pretty low, but you could have people who are ready to come over to the Binance Smart Chain, or you could have some people who've made some big gains on the Binance Smart Chain and go, you know what, I just want to get that back into Ethereum, back into my Ethereum wallet, so that I don't have to worry about the Binance people taking it from me, if that's what people are worried about, with the fact that the Binance Smart Chain is a little bit, well, definitely more centralized than Ethereum. So either way you go, they're going to be pulling these small fees, and they're going to be using it to burn Cub and burn, this is very important, wrapped Leo on Binance, because they're doing it strictly to help support the Cub token. So why is that important? So we're going to see this get the Cub token, which has a pretty inflationary build, is going to have a big deflationary thing. And I mean, I don't know exactly how much money, but when you're talking about a token with only a $2 million market cap and only a circulating supply of 1 million tokens, and at only $2.70, if big money starts to move back and forth between that bridge, and they're going to be buying these tokens up to burn them, you're going to see this price move a lot. Now, that is a big if. And obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you I'm not selling any more Cub under $3. There's no way. I don't even think I'm going to sell any under $5, because I feel like that this bridge and this mechanism of moving money back and forth is actually a really important thing, and it should help drive the price up. The other reason why it will is because they have a Leo BNB pool, right? So if they come here with 50% of the profits from their bridge and they buy wrapped Leo here and then burn it, they are going to drive the price of a wrapped Leo up. So all of the sudden, you're going to have this pool become bigger, but they're a tri-token community, right? So now you're going to have people on Hive who can buy the Leo token go, wow, I can buy the Leo token over here for, I think it's like about $1.10, and it's going for $1.15 over there. And there are some savvy people on Hive who will be doing this and will probably bought this. They're going to go ahead and buy it, and they're going to transfer it over here, and they're going to dump it into the market for that quick profit until those prices match up. There is also a wrapped Leo on Ethereum where you could arbitrage from. That would only be if the prices got very, very big, because if not, the transfer fees from Ethereum to move it over to here would probably eat up that profit. But overall, you're going to be seeing that this is it's a bit of a flywheel effect. You use the wheel. People use the bridge, which gets us to buy our wrapped Leo over here and burn it, which increases the price of Leo, which then makes people who are smart enough to arbitrage on our bridge use the bridge to go ahead and get wrapped Leo off of Hive and over to here, and then stabilize that price. So you're going to see a little bit of up and down there. That creates another fee that they use to buy it and burn it. Now, obviously, unless you are at very, very big numbers, eventually there's a law of diminishing returns there on that small fee. That's not going to just move it forever in a forever circle, but it does create a flywheel of a self-fulfilling burn mechanism that I think is really cool. And then with that going on, every time 50% of that fee goes into burning the Cub token. Now this bridge could be, it's just part of what they have planned. So I'm going to be doing more videos on Leo Finance. I know you might want me to be chasing down some other farms, some of the other brand new ones that have been coming out, and I've kind of already done a video on how to do that. If you're really interested in brand new stuff, just come to the BSC scan, go ahead and go to the resources, go to the yield farming list, and they will warn you that this stuff is very dangerous. See, you have a rug pull there, but you do have some projects that are pretty good. The other thing you can do is kind of hang out in some of the discords of people that do these. We'll take a quick look at this one. Pineapple Finance, they have 2 million locked, so they're a brand new project, and these are outrageous APRs, right? Let's go ahead. They should have, this looks like a copy of Pancake Swap. If I look at it, it is just a copy, not a Pancake, of Goose with 3% fees. So the fee is slightly smaller than the current 4% fee that you see at some other places. And you will see there are some people who are going to be over here, right? There's a few $100,000 in here, and they, it's just, do you want to continually chase the brand new one? It's a way to play in DeFi. It absolutely is. As you can see, right here, you could buy some of these pineapple tokens at $2, and you could stake them here at 2,000% APR. And if you were, put $1,000 in, you'd make 28 tokens a day, and you could sell them off, and you can play the game of, can I farm them and sell them and drive this price down faster than the other people? And I don't know if you can. You can also try getting into these farms and hoping that the project is legit and earning pretty big returns, and just see where it goes. But I'm not really looking to do that anymore. If you guys really, really want to see that, you let me know. I can keep showing you these sites as they come live. I can kind of tell you how I would play this really quick as just a little bonus at the end if you hung out for 33 minutes, is that I would go into this. So this pineapple token, it's probably already gone up and down a little bit. So I would go ahead and buy, I'd take, $100 or less or more, depending on how wealthy you are. I'd buy 50% of it into this token. I would put it in this liquidity pool. I would farm it. I would be selling off to try to get my $200 back. But if you wanted to compound the earnings, then I would be selling it off, and I would go into their orchard, and I would stake the BUSD that I was getting from selling it off right here to compound how I'm going to earn back my my $200 that I risked, and once I had $200 sitting here, I would probably unstake it, keep it, and then I could let what I have in the liquidity pool go ahead and ride this out and see if Pineapple Swap is legit. Now, I don't know anything about these guys, so they just launched. Their stuff is pretty wild. Percentages. Oh, they have an NFT play, which is interesting. Launch on the 19th, so they've been live for 2 days. Burn in partnership. I'll maybe dig into this one a little more. I'll do a real video, but that's exactly how I would find the projects that I wanted to get into. They'll give you their launch dates here, and as if you look through these things, you're going to see rug pulls. There's another one here, Beer Garden. Not as many as you'd think, though, right? What you're really seeing is a lot of copycats, and you just got to be careful on copycats, and I'll show you why. Because you can have this one, right? And I'll go ahead and show you that I have 1.5 nuts to harvest from 3 nuts that are in a staking pool, but none of that stuff is worth how much money I would pay to get them out. So it's kind of interesting when they abandon a site, the site just stays up, and we're going to have this much locked, and it's just going to stay there because nobody is ever going to get their money out of that site. I actually made money on that site, though, by doing the strategy I told you. Before it fell apart, I had pulled out my initial investment, and then I did one last sale where I walked away with like a tiny bit of money, and then I left 3 tokens behind staking just to see if the project grew from where it was at, and it didn't, and I lost money, and I was sad. So everybody have a good day. This is it. Bye.